Busy week here at WTHR Sports. A lot going on and a lot of it on the hardwood. Let's start with the Indiana Fever. Man, they want to win and they want to win right now. And that's evidenced by the free agent signings they've brought in, the trades they've made, a lot of veteran leadership on this team. Here's a couple of signings and free agent ads they've made this week to make this team a serious contender. It began with keeping all-star guard Kelsey Mitchell right where she was, a key piece to the core of this team alongside Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston. Then it was time for more, says Tony East of Locked On Sports.
What they needed to do was add to those two, which was Kelly Crosskop's first big task as president once again.
Then came the blockbuster four-team trade. The Fever traded away former second overall pick Nalissa Smith and the 8th overall pick in this upcoming draft, netting the Mercury's Sophie Cunningham and the 19th overall pick in return, as well as some other pieces. A lot of times it's about fit. Cunningham brings a lot to the table with how this Fever team plays. So too do veterans like Natasha Howard and DeWanna Bonner, both of which multi-time WNBA champions and WNBA All-Stars, both of which acquired in free agency.
So definitely hunting after vets, which makes sense to me. I mean, they started 1-8 last year, then went 19-12 the rest of the way. They were already pretty good last year. They didn't win a game, but gave Connecticut a big pain in the postseason, right? They were clearly ready for way more, especially with the way Caitlin finished the season and figured out the W very quickly. Once they got Stephanie White, it was clear veterans was the need. It was kind of everything they would have, in theory, needed, given what their team was last year and how they hope to play this year under Stephanie White.
Now with an experienced head coach in Stephanie White, established veteran leadership with championship experience, and the big three of Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and Kelsey Mitchell here to stay, East says the Fever are absolutely ready to make some noise this upcoming season.
Look, the top end of the W is amazing with Vegas, with New York. Those teams even retooling a little bit this offseason. Maybe the Fever aren't quite at that level yet, but it's not unreasonable to think they could get there this year, and certainly right behind them coming up very quickly with their young talent emerging, with multi-time All-Stars now in the door. They're right there in that next tier of teams, I think.
My thing is, I'm happy, like I said, to be a part of this and also bring the leadership and the desire to, to show this young group what it takes to win a championship. I have 3, so my thing is to show them you can't take no days off in practice. You got to think when you practice, it's the way how you play. So my thing is coming in, I'm just going to show them this is how you work hard. So when you work hard, it's going to be easy in the game. It won't be as hard. So my thing is just bringing that championship mentality to the locker room and to this team and just guiding this team.
Not only everything you just heard with trading for Sophie Cunningham, getting Natasha Howard on board, DeWanna Bonner, but Sydney Colson also a little bit later in the week, 2-time champ with the Las Vegas Aces. She's now on this Indiana Fever team. So a lot of veteran leadership, really good stuff coming for the Indiana Fever. That takes us to the Indiana Pacers. They have some games coming up right here on WTHR, so be sure to keep it locked right here on Channel 13. Earlier this week, I had a chance to sit down with Tyrese Halliburton as he gives us a little bit of a perspective on where the Indiana Pacers are right now and where they want to be in the second half of the season. Hello and welcome to Gainbridge Fieldhouse as we get you set and ready for a slew of games on our air, Pacers games that is, on WTHR. And this man beside me, no introduction needed, Tyrese Halliburton. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. Appreciate that. So we just want to go through kind of the Pacers season, how everything's going. How would you characterize how the season has gone thus far and how you guys are clicking right now as well? Yeah, you mentioned kind of clicking right now, 10-2 since the new year happened, 17-6 at the time of this interview, since December 6th. So, at one point you're 9-14, you're sitting 26-20, 5th in the East. What's kind of been the shift throughout December and January to have you guys click into where you are right now? So an Eastern Conference run a year ago, and I know going into the season and even before last season, like you mentioned, defense was kind of that key. How have you felt this team grow, not even just in the context of just this season, but capitalizing on that momentum of last season and making that defensive focus? Okay, so personally, how have you felt yourself kind of, maybe not transition, I mean, you've always been a leader, but into that leadership role, and how would you assess kind of your play this season? Okay, so you say you think about it a lot. When you do think about it, what comes to mind? Just going through that Eastern Conference Finals series, the run in and of itself, how you build off it, kind of what do you think about when you think about it? All right, so All-Star break is coming up, and then after that, it's second half, full speed ahead to the postseason. You guys put yourself in a better position than you were right now, right? But what do you want to see from this team just in this short time before All-Star break and then that second half of the season for that late season push? Okay, Pascal an All-Star.
Yeah.
You happy about that? That's good stuff. All right, that's Tyrese Halliburton. Thank you again, sir. Best of luck the rest of the way. Pacers on WTHR. A lot of games remaining still, so be sure to keep it locked on 13. Thanks so much. There's a special season brewing yet again here in Muncie, Indiana. Ball State women's basketball. They've won 12 straight, and they are looking for even more. Just a year removed for setting a program record for wins in a single season. They're looking for their first NCAA tournament appearance since 2009. A huge reason for the Cardinals' success, Brownsburg alum Allie Becky.
Oh, Allie Becky! We'll see you on SportsCenter.
She's special. At some point, her jersey's going to be hanging somewhere in this place.
The pride of Brownsburg, a stat-stuffing machine. Becky is on pace to become the lone Division I player ever to average at least 10 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 4.5 assists a game in every season since her freshman year.
I came here my freshman year wanting just to get minutes, and then Brady just put me in the starting lineup, and from there on, it's just been great, honestly.
It certainly has been. She truly does it all. 80% from the charity stripe, 36% from three, nearly 1,500 points, over 600 rebounds and assists, and over 200 steals.
I think what she's doing is putting together one of the best careers you've seen come through Ball State, you've seen come through this league.
Gaining inspiration from a familiar face.
Seeing Caitlin Clark play, I feel like she's just, a great role model. Since I was younger, I've always just been kind of a person likes to pass the ball. I feel like that's kind of the best part about my game. I like getting everyone involved.
One thing's for sure, everyone's involved in Ball State's success this season. A perfect 10-0 in MAC play and winners of 12 straight, clicking in a way this program hasn't seen before.
It's that this is our last go mentality. We're going to leave everything on the floor. We're taking no prisoners, that kind of mindset, and I think they're preparing that way, certainly have played that way.
You know, it's our last go around, and we kind of just want everything to be perfect. We know, like, we're not going to play with each other probably ever again, so, I mean, everything means a lot right now.
The perfect ending? A trip to the NCAA tournament for the first time in 16 years.
Mean a lot, honestly. I know it would mean a lot for everyone else, and just kind of like the coaches that have been here with us throughout the entire thing. I mean, it would be very emotional if we did, and even if we didn't, but I mean, you know, it's just something I want to be a part of for sure.
It's all in front of Ball State women's basketball. If that doesn't get you fired up, I don't know what will. It's our favorite time of the week, folks. Operation Basketball to send you off to the weekend with a smile on your face. Tonight, lots at stake as it's sectional semifinals time across our state for girls high school basketball. Where better to start than Noblesville? 4A, Sectional 8, the #1 team in all the land in action tonight. We're talking about the unblemished 23-0 Hamilton Southeastern Royals. Taking on Zionsville here tonight. Maya Makaluski from deep. Count them all, the IU commit, doing what she does. HSC, they're off and running. Later, Zionsville looking to get going here. Mackenzie Chapman from distance. Yes, sirree, Bobo, it's good. Royals turn. More threes, please. That's all we're going to show tonight. Just a forewarning. This time, Kennedy Holden all day long, top of the key. HSC, they're starting to run away with it. On the break here, ball movement, corner pocket. Kayla Stidham, it's raining threes at the mill. Goodness gracious, that forces a Zionsville timeout. We're fired up. Look, they're nationally ranked for a reason, folks. HSC rolls their way to a sectional final appearance, 59-40, your final over Zionsville. So, who are the Royals going to play in the sectional final tomorrow? Here we go. Game 2, Noblesville and Westfield. The Rocks off to an unbelievable start in this one. Aubrey Crockett to Samantha Price underneath. Gets it to go. Ring around the rosy. Timeout Millers. Westfield up big. Early there, they're pumped about it. Crockett making things go later. This time it's Ellie Wheeler from distance. Give me the hot sauce, money. Westfield on top, 21-5 at the end of the first quarter. So they're off to a nice start. Noblesville trying to get back in it. How about that? Knifing her way to the rim. That's Maya Blower, the freshman. Scoops, kisses it off glass. Miller's hanging in later. Meredith Tipner, she had over 30 tonight. Check this out. What? Excuse me. What a move, Millers. They got back in it late, but Westfield too much to handle. A big-time win over 10th-ranked Noblesville, 61-52. Your final Rocks, they're headed to a sectional championship appearance. Good stuff right there. All right, last, certainly not least, let's take you to Lawrence North for the 4A Sectional 10 semi. Second-ranked LC, take it on North Central. 3 of those, please. Jayla Lampley, the Mississippi State commit, getting the party started. Panthers turn. Gabrielle Burris, the mid-range J. It's a lost start. Burris buries that one. North Central, they're hanging around early. Nice feet here. Top of the key, Burris. She's got that range too. Splash, the high arcing shot. She's fired up about it. Could the Panthers pull off the upset? Improbable maybe. Layla Durkeeb says, not so fast. I got blisters on my fingers. Caitlin Clark range there. The Bears, too much firepower in this one. Defending state champs for a reason. They're looking to repeat as Lampley nails another right there. They pull away 53-32 winners over North Central. They're going to play arch rival Lawrence North in the sectional final. Man, so that wraps up a busy week here at WTHR Sports. Fever, Pacers, Ball State, you name it. We got you covered right here. We're going to have much more for you really throughout this year on WTHR Plus, so be sure to keep it locked right here. Search your favorite sports teams, and we'll, of course, have all the coverage you could ever ask for. Again, right here on WTHR Plus. So keep it locked on 13, and we'll see you next time.